We are waiting. We are waiting. We are waiting. A Dookie named Fliplowski tweaked his ankle in a court storming. So as we sit around and wait for the white smoke to come out saying there's been a decision by the NCAA, because when a Dookie gets hurt, we must respond, ladies and gentlemen. We must. A Dookie pushes a fan, tweaks his ankle, and we all must defend the Dookie. Oh, yeah, God dang it, don't at me. We don't defend the Dookies. We say to players, don't push people. Don't push fans. Jermaine Burton, don't slap fans. What are you doing? Don't be an idiot. But we are waiting. We are waiting for the law to come down. Hey, speaking of coming down, good for Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark went public. Ryan Clark's contract expired the Monday after the Super Bowl, February 12th. Do you even know who Ryan Clark is? Do you? I mean, I feel like this segment here is for a small section of people. Do you know who Ryan Clark is? Well, ESPN NNN offered Clark an extension. He declined, posted on social media that he was worth more money. Maybe he is, but I got to ask you a question. Is there anybody that says, I got to tune in because I got to see what Ryan Clark has to say? No. Stephen A. Smith, I'll give it to you. You do. You do. But Ryan Clark, hey, I hope Ryan Clark's on Get Up so I could hear what he has to say. No, I don't think so. No, but I got to give him credit. I never besmirch a man for making that green, yo. Ryan Clark got himself $2 million, got himself a bag. He was hoping for a competing offer, but one never materialized, so ESPN was basically arguing against himself. But it just fascinates me. Like, I got to tell you, I watched the entire football season. I never saw Mina Kimes. Clark's contract expired on Monday after the Super Bowl. You see it right there. He complained via X that ESPN re-signed Chris Mad Dog Russo in front of him. Well, Chris Mad Dog Russo, for those of you that don't know, is an icon in New York City, which, oh, by the way, is the largest media market in the country, which, oh, by the way, when he gets on with Stephen A. Smith, he's the only guy that Stephen A. Smith can back down to. Because when you are in the media, particularly the talk media, as opposed to the TV media, you know that Chris Russo is kind of the man. Mad Dog Radio, he's kind of the man. Right? He threatened to leave the company, Clark did. He intended to drum up pressure on social media and specifically Black Twitter to force their hand. Now, look, I don't know what Black Twitter is. Is there I don't know, some kind of Black Twitter? It's going to be fascinating to me what happens. Normally, I don't care about any of these guys. In fact, as soon as this show or this segment is done, I literally don't care what any of these guys do. But I saw something interesting. Our guy Stephen A. Smith actually said on his show he never talks about any of his coworkers, his colleagues. And I'm thinking to myself, you just talked about Pat McAfee. Why do I bring that up? Because Ryan Clark getting his bag, getting his $2 million, when Stephen A. Smith's contract up, watch his appeal. Watch what he does. Watch how he compares himself to McAfee. Watch how he starts going to Black Twitter. I don't even know where the Black Twitter is. McAfee doesn't have to be as polished as me. He's white, I'm black. Race card privilege is alive and well and living in the great state of ESPN, and I am here for all of it. I am here for all of it. I want Stephen A. Smith to tell me how white guys don't have to be as good as black guys in the media when, well, I've talked about this. Marshawn Lynch driving a car with no tires, blackout drunk. Oh, man, how many commercials can we give old Marshawn? We can give him a lot. Richard Sherman, unlike his third arrest, Richard Sherman will be promoted, I'm sure, at Amazon. Oh, just stop it, stupid. Just stop it. And this is another example. Look, truth of the matter is if somebody decided, hey, Ryan, you know what? We didn't like you going to Twitter. We didn't like you putting external pressure on us. That's what ESPN used to do with everybody. But now they're so afraid of not being, diverse enough, of getting an African-American pissed off, which I don't know why you'd care about African-American pissed off, white dude pissed off. ESPN never cared about any of it. I say this all the time. Last Supper, me, Mike Tirico, Allison Williams, Bart Fox, Scotty J. The Last Supper, Tirico's like, yeah, ESPN doesn't even offer me nothing. I'm going to leave now. This will be my last event. Same thing with Brad Nessler. These are two of the best, if not the best, play-by-play guys. But somehow we are acquiescing to just another run-in-the-mill guy on TV, Ryan Clark, and, of course, somebody that I didn't see the entire football season, making $1.7 million, the only Asian-born lady. I mean, how perfect is Asian-born lady? Like, look, Asian-born lady Mina Kimes, she could probably get the network renamed after her. Now, don't at me, people. I live in the real world. My agent, the great Maury Gosfriend, I asked, hey, can you represent, my niece? She's great. Well, hey, Dan, do you know any African-American women? Do you know any Asians, maybe an Asian black woman do you know? I can get them a job tomorrow. So I live in the real world. I don't live in the world of, I throw things out. No. I live in the real world. And the real world tells me that, once again, Stephen A. Smith's little, you're black, you got to be better, is total crap. Ryan Clark's not good. Ryan Clark is a mouth. Ryan Clark doesn't say anything interesting. Ryan Clark is typical. And guess what? Oh, this could get interesting. America's mouth, Dan Orlovsky, he's paying attention. Yeah, he is. Danny O is paying attention. Danny O, who is out there trying to get every job. He was dying to be a coach. Nobody will hire him. He talks about, I would go with that guy. Really? Well, I'd go for a full head of hair. Danny O says, noted. Noted. Okay, Danny O. Yeah, noted. Ooh, Danny O, you're a white guy. They ain't paying you. You do a lot of good work. In fact, you did so much work during the pandemic that you look tired. Like you were on every day. You kind of carried the network, but you're a white dude, and you're getting older. That ain't a good combination, so you can note, you can unnote, you can renote, and you can no-note. But that ain't going to help you, brah. Because, frankly, you're extinct. Or you're soon to be extinct. Mark my words on it. You won't get more than $2 million, which is a great contract. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? You got to sit around. Here's what you do when you're on those shows. You ready? Get there a little bit early. Okay. Couple meetings. Informal. Sit around. Get on the set. 10 minutes, talk for maybe 30 seconds. Commercial. 10, 15 minutes, talk for 30. Commercial. Then they say, hey, you got to be down over here, studio whatever, for the car wash, they call it. You got to go on with Smith. First day, okay. You sit there, they bring you on, 5 minutes. Then they say, well, we got a Sports Center hit for you. Okay. Be about an hour. Okay. Go have a cup of coffee. Go do a Sports Center hit. What do you got next? Nothing till 6. You go back to the DoubleTree, catch a nap, have a nice margarita pizza there for lunch. Go back, have a little dinner at the cafeteria. Wait for your Sports Center hit. Maybe Van Pelt at night. And these guys act like it's a burden. $2 million to do that is stealing. And I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all, not even in the slightest, Ryan Clark. Good for you. But please, God, and I'm going to be on this because it's so full of crap, please don't tell me that the African-American media guy has to be better. Man, they can show up 20 minutes late 10 different times. They got a big enough name, they still got a job. Stop it, stupid. Charles Barkley makes sense to me. Charles Barkley 1,000% makes sense to me. When Charles Barkley speaks, he just makes good sense. Now, I don't know what good sense is. I don't know what bad sense is. But my dad in my mind, that makes good sense to me. Good sense. Okay. Well, here's the latest about the NBA. You have to be concerned. Everybody has to be concerned. Because the one thing you can't do is alienate your fans. Boy, is he right about that. That's the one thing you can't do, Barkley said, because the fans make everything go. They buy our products. They watch our sport. And once you piss them off, there is going to be repercussions. Ratings are way down. I'll get to that in a minute. When you have guys making 75, 80, 90, God forbid, 100 million a year to play basketball, and the guy says, you know what? I'm going to rest tonight. At some point, the fans are going to say, enough. I've had enough. It is interesting. It is very interesting. I think people are getting to that point. Now, here in Indianapolis, we're kind of excited about the Pacers. We are. We're a little bit excited. Last year, you know how they say in Indiana, in 49 states, it's basketball, that kind of thing? Well, in Indiana last year, the attendance was about last. Now we're excited. So we've got a good attendance. Okay, all right. But the problem is people are just kind of like, I've had enough. Now, back in December, ESPN and others, NBA.com, says that viewership, ESPN and ABC, up 16% from last year. Well, that's good. That's really good. I have a hard time believing that, but look, that's the deal. That is the deal. Now, the ratings are somewhere between a women's basketball game and lacrosse, but hey, they're still up from last year, and 16% is a significant number. But the bigger issue is the product. The bigger issue is this. Is it watchable? Do we care? When you got a guy that's making, $60 million, I believe, is what a guy named Jaylen Brown is making, that none of you know who he is, except for, of course, the Knicks and Knicks. They know everything. But when that dude's making $60 million and he don't want to play 82 games, whoo, doggy. Fans look at that and say, what in the Sam hell are you doing? Now, everything is reaction. LeBron James, at the height of load management, in the 11th game of the year, said, yeah, I'm going to sit out at the Pacers. Yeah, I'm tired. Load management. It's too much. Well, LeBron James has figured out that's a dumb statement. That's a dumb stance. So LeBron James has stopped that. But the truth of the matter is, whether you like LeBron James or not, he's just smarter than the rest of these clowns. I'll tell you the other thing, and this is a true story. And again, this is probably some kind of ist. But this is a true story. I turned on a game. I didn't really know. My TV came on. It was on ESPN. There was a basketball game on. And I wasn't really paying attention. And I wonder if this has happened to anybody else. I looked up, and for, I don't know, a few seconds, I could not tell if it was a men's or a women's game. The hair, ladies and gentlemen, the hair. I'm like, Indiana has a dude who had 27 the other night, literally looks like a chick. Like, I look at him like, dude, girl, guy, boy. But I'm telling you, the aesthetics of an NBA game, it's got nothing to do with black. It's got nothing to do with white. You know what it's got to do with? It's got to do with the pace. It's got to do with the play. Look, guys are making shots left and right. I mean to tell you, the basketball is so much better, but it's just a horrible product. It's just like, I don't know. Now, the race baiting guys, the Ryan Clarks, the Stephen A. Smiths, are going to say, well, that's old white guy that doesn't understand. No, this is young old white guy that understands perfectly. Like, I've been watching this forever, and the product just isn't very good. And the teams just aren't very interesting. Let me ask you, Orlando's having a pretty good year, but are you cranking up the old TV to watch Pablo Banchero? Maybe you are. I don't think so. You know, Anthony Edwards seems to be an idiot. He couldn't get in the NCAA tournament as a player. He got his college coach, Tom Crean, fired, but he seems to talk all the time, and people are acting like he's the next Michael Jordan. Yeah, I don't think so. But my point is, I know you're going to watch the Warriors. I know you're going to watch LeBron. I know you're going to watch the Boston Celtics probably, although I don't know what's interesting about them. There just isn't anything interesting. And when NBA players talk, you kind of go, all right, okay. And then, of course, Bobby Barack put it out there. For us white guys, every assault on the court has been African Americans assaulting a white guy. Now, I understand you're mad at the Euros. I understand that, and that's part of the problem, too. The Euros. I don't know who these guys are. The only problem is they come in and they're great, and we learn very quickly about Doncic, Jokic. We learn very quickly about the Greek Freak, very, very quickly. But as we move into the draft, I actually looked at this yesterday. I had no idea who these clowns were at the top of the draft. In a mock draft, it was all foreign dudes. It was all foreign dudes, and I'm sitting there going, that ain't great. That ain't great for the league if I don't know who they are. Let me ask you, Alexandre Sarr is the projected number 1 pick. He's French. He plays for the Perth Wildcats. Second pick, Nikola Topic. Niko Topic is Serbian, so he's my man. That's the number 2 pick. Zachary Richard, the French. The French are invading the hoops. That's the 3rd pick. Matas Bazulis. That's the 4th pick. He's a Lithuanian. And then there's some guy named Ron Holland. First American. Ron Holland. I'll close my eyes. Well, I didn't sleep well last night. If I close my eyes, I may not wake up. But you close your eyes and tell me where Ron Holland plays. Ron Holland plays in the G League Ignite. And then the other first college player is some dude named Cody Williams. Tell me where Cody Williams plays. I'll hang up and listen. No, not there. No, come on. I'll give you a hint. It's the same school that Deion Sanders coaches at. I also got to tell you, if the 8th pick of the draft is Reid Shepard, the draft sucks. Reid's a really good player, and I really like his dad. But he ain't the 8th player picked in the draft. Anyway, you get my point. There isn't a single guy that I mentioned, and I can go on, because the next guy to be drafted is a dude from Providence that I never heard of. So if you're going to go through all this, then you're not bringing anybody into the league that has any cachet. And if Reid Shepard is the 5th pick, my God, man, and I like Reid Shepard. I do. There isn't a single guy on here other than Reid Shepard and the big kid Klingon let me go this route. In the top 10 of the NBA draft, there is not a single player other than Rob Dillingham and Reid Shepard at 5 and 6 that I can tell you anything about. And that ain't good. I mean, I guess the NBA could turn into a foreign league, but Barkley, he's never wrong. Barkley speaks with common sense. Barkley speaks with dignity. Barkley speaks with smarts, period. Hey, by the way, we're still waiting for Richard Sherman to announce that I assume he's getting a raise, more commercials, and Amazon is making its own primetime special about him due to his arrest for the 3rd time for being a complete jackass. But remember, he went to Stanford. Rightfully so, Andy Reid will become the NFL's highest paid coach. Kansas City Chiefs are set to offer him a new contract. He's 65 years old. Listen to this. He is set for a $6.5 million a year raise. God bless you, Andy Reid. Are you having any fun? $6.5 million a year raise. Now, I'm no math major, but if it was $6 million, that means he gets another $500,000 a year. A month? Wow. Basically, he's going to get an extra $600,000 a month. Why is anybody worth that? But I digress. If Jaylen Brown is worth $60 million, then everybody's worth something. But good for Andy Reid. I'll tell you why good for Andy Reid. Andy Reid don't seem to cause no trouble. Andy Reid just does his little commercials. Now, not the greatest father, and I don't know if we're allowed to say that, or at least if you judge fathers by how their children end up, not allowed really to say that. But the truth of the matter is, Andy Reid's a hell of a football coach that has established a hell of a culture, that has established a big-time winning culture. There's no problems with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time anybody had a hassle with a Kansas City Chief? I mean, I get it. They all got blacked out drunk during the parade, but so what? Young guys doing their thing. But Andy Reid has established something in Kansas City that very few places have. A calmness with monumental success. There doesn't seem to be any drama. Now, I watch New Heights, which is Jason and Travis Kelce's podcast, and I really like it. And I like Jason's wife, Kylie. And when I watch it, I listened to Travis Kelce talk when he particularly talks about his team. Man, always complimentary of other dudes on the team. Always complimentary even of his coach that he screamed at like a complete idiot on the sideline during the Super Bowl. There just doesn't seem to be any drama. Like, you go to that guy Mike McDaniel, whatever the hell his name is over in Miami. It's always something. You know, he's got a dress with his little capri pants. He's got his MF things. You know what? And then they lose. And then everybody says what a great hire he is because he's diverse. Andy Reid, he's just old school. I think Andy Reid kicking it old school is kind of cool. Kind of really cool. Very cool. Yeah. All right. Just my thought. I mean, I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm wrong. But you know what? I'm usually never wrong. There's no drama. Speaking of drama, you know, we are right now in a crisis. We are right now in an immigration crisis. People pouring in over the border. And it's funny to me when I say this. People actually want to tell me I'm wrong. When you have more people coming in and over the border unvetted, more people than are in some states, you got a serious problem. Where are they going? Where are they staying? Who are they living with? Particularly young men of, well, frankly, war age. We are letting people in out of jail cells. And I say this, and I know it's true. I hope it isn't true, but I know it's true. What happened to Laken Riley is coming to every town in America. You can argue with me. You can say it's not, but it is literally coming to every town in America. Where are these guys going to go? Where are they going? You get across the border, you're out of a jail in Venezuela, you're out of a jail in Purdue, the Chinese have flown you over. Where are you going? Going to Christian Science reading room, going to read the Monitor? Going to go to church, do a little praying? Maybe. Where are you going? Going to work for DoorDash like this killer did? It's amazing to me how we're so afraid to say these things. It's astounding to me that nobody can figure out the common sense. This started for me 2-3 years ago. Dinner with a man named Paul Krebs, lives in New Mexico, Albuquerque. He used to be the athletic director at New Mexico. Me, my wife, his son, and Paul went out to dinner. And I'm like, hey, man, this border's tough. Huh? He goes, you wouldn't believe it. He goes, we're a couple hours from the border, 3-4 hours. We got guys running through our neighborhood, just running through. Where are they going? Don't know. What do you think they're going to do? Steal, rob, rape? Of course. Oh, my God, Dakich, you're such a sexist, misogynist, whatever, racist. Okay, call me racist on this one, but what are they going to do? You're out of jail somewhere. You're released into a country. No, I guess that idiot Mayor Adams is going to give you $10,000. You can buy some snacks. But what are you going to do? You're used to being a criminal, a lot of them. What are you going to do? Well, I tell you one thing we're doing in here. We are protecting, for some reason, killers. The Associated Press put out a thing, Fears of Solo Female Athletes. That was their article about Laken Riley. Instead of illegal immigrant lies in wait, kills beautiful woman on a run. I mean, we couldn't have that. And I don't know if you saw this, but we're so whacked out, the police report said the dude was white. Now, I'm white. He ain't white. But it's amazing. Nobody talks about the weak crime laws. Nobody talks about the fact that murderers, killers, rapists are going free. No one talks about that. We're so concerned about what exactly? That's my question. Guy breaks into a liquor store. Guy's a white dude. Guy's a black dude. He's running away. News in Indianapolis won't say black dude robs a liquor store or white dude robs a liquor store. How the hell are you supposed to catch him if you don't know what color he is? Oh, my God, you said color, Dakich. You're racist. Shut up. How are you? I'll hang up and listen. These are the simple questions that I ask. So instead of a discussion about illegal immigrants and what is absolutely going to happen here in your community, in my community, in every community, Maybe not Bismarck, North Dakota. It's too cold. But I guarantee you Bismarck, North Dakota, because it's on the Canadian border, has a problem there too. I'm just telling you, if you let people come in that are criminals unfettered, what do you think they're going to do here? Every day, if you're on X, all you got to do is open up X, and you'll see illegal immigrant beats woman, illegal immigrant in fights with cops, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's overstated. Look, I don't necessarily believe X to be the end-all, be-all. I certainly don't believe the media to be the end-all, be-all. But I do believe common sense. And common sense says to me, you let a bunch of criminals in your country and you let them run wild, they're going to be criminals in this country. Son of a biscuit maker, are we that stupid? Are we that sensitive? And why does that offend you? And if it offends you, tough. Them's the berries, as my grandma used to say. So Mary Catherine Ham, who is brilliant writer, and she works here at OutKick as well, her response to the Associated Press, calling, listen to this, the illegal immigrant a Athens resident. Now, just think about that for a second. They're so afraid to do what? What, you think Associated Press, the thugs are going to come burn down your place? You think Associated Press, someone's going to start a city on fire because you said that a dude didn't live in Athens and was an illegal immigrant? You think it's so compassionate to say instead of an illegal immigrant murdering jackass, you say a Athens resident? Where's the compassion for Laken Riley's family? Or is it all just you crazy-ass left media are so busy protecting the crazy-ass left media that you've totally lost your way in our society? I think that's it. I know that's it. Well, anyway, Mary Catherine Ham, hi, female athlete here. I ran this exact trail every single week of my college career. I guess I could have been snuffed out before I graduated, had a career, family, and the professionals at the Associated Press would lie about the suspect because it fits a preferred narrative. Ibarra, who's the killer, is not merely an Athens resident. And Laken Riley and every other student was put in danger by not enforcing laws and allowing a man arrested 3 times after crossing the border to hang out and work on campus. He had to escalate to alleged murder to be held or risk deportation. Good policies, good work. Like, I don't get it. Hey, of the people, for the people. Isn't that what it's supposed to be around here? That ain't for the people. That's for a person coming in here illegally. And I'm telling you right now the same thing I told you yesterday. Do not DoorDash. That dude worked at DoorDash. I worked at DoorDash. I wouldn't order DoorDash or Uber Eats to save my life. I'm sitting there with a bunch of food. I'm like, that's crazy. Next. But that sense of peace was shattered after authorities on Thursday found the body of Laken Hope Riley, an arrested Athens resident, Jose Antonio Ibarra, on suspicion of murder. The victim and suspect did not know each other. University of Georgia Police Chief Jeff Clark called the killing a killing of opportunity. Is that amazing? Is that amazing? Instead of the Associated Press having a chance to come out and be honest, number one, wasn't an Athens resident. I mean, if it was, it's parsing words. An undocumented immigrant, an illegal immigrant. We all know. But what is our problem? That's the bigger issue to me. What is the main? Are you afraid that the African-American or the illegal immigrant or the white group is going to get mad at you for calling a guy an illegal immigrant who, guess what, is a freaking illegal immigrant? Are you so afraid? Like, are you afraid of what? What? I don't get it. I honestly and truly do not get it. I never will get it, and I'm glad I don't get it. I am. I'm glad I don't get it. I'm glad I'm not dumb enough to get it, because that is evil, that is hurtful, that is not protecting the people of the United States. And every prosecutor that lets a criminal out is not protecting the citizens. And you're elected, you prosecutors, and you're elected to protect. And every single guy bought off by George Soros or others is going to burn in hell for allowing people that they know are murderers out. They know are criminals out. For what? I don't want anybody protesting. F that. It's amazing to me. I'm going to get to a little basketball now. Give me a chance to get a sip of coffee. I didn't sleep good. I got the Jimmy legs. I do. I got the Jimmy legs. You know what the Jimmy legs are? It jumps. I couldn't sleep. Didn't get no sleep last night. I got the Jimmy leg. All right. This will be considered racist. Juwan Howard sucks. Nah, Juwan Howard really sucks. I was watching Juwan Howard coach the other day. I know he had a heart thing, and we're all supposed to feel sorry for him. But I was watching him coach, and I'm sitting there going, man, you know what? Not very good. And they were playing their brains out really hard against Purdue. Juwan Howard's basketball team, they're a dumpster fire. They're in last in the Big Ten. Ohio State, maybe Ohio State, I don't know. Ohio State is pulling ahead of them. 84-79, 8 wins all year. And Howard, I don't know if his days are numbered. I don't know if they're not. I just know I was watching him, and I'm thinking to myself, let me see here. You got in an altercation with a guy named John Sanderson because your son was a pain in the ass. You slapped a cheap shot, Joe Krabanoff, over the top because you can't control your temper. You lost your mind numerous times, and I'm all in on temper. I got no problem. But you can't win 8 games and have a temper. You just can't. You just simply can't.